All right. One thing I've been getting asked a lot is how we can fight back. What can be done on the elected officials' end and also on the individual citizens. And right now is not a time for decorum or civility. Right now is a time to fight. So just to straight up get into it, one of the things you can do is that on Friday, this Friday, there will be a Veterans March, and I think it's actually getting extended throughout the weekend. But there will be a Veterans March in every capital across the nation. And I will be present in Tallahassee. So if you want to come out and see me, I'll be in Tallahassee, and I'll be there with my bullhorn comes tomorrow. So prepare for that. I also want to talk about, again, strategic legislative obstruction. So blocking their ability to govern effectively should be the main purpose. Me personally, I call it Operation Donald Duck, because I think it's funny. Make Trump a lame duck president. It's cute. The point is, for elected officials, you're talking about filibuster, utilizing the filibuster, utilizing legislative gridlock, preventing extreme judicial and political appointments. They should be obstructing every appointment. Every single one of them. They should not be allowing the narrative for other people to be going on television, staking the narrative. I heard that they were talking about the shutdown and they were blaming Democrats. Democrats are not in control of the House or the Senate. They had no control over that happening, and yet they were being labeled as part of it. There needs to be more people willing to go out and speak, go on to every podcast, go on to every YouTube channel. Like, do not give right-wingers platforms. And I want to specifically address in that same nature specific individuals and specific instances. One of those is Gavin Newsom, who recently hosted Charlie Kirk on his platform. For what purpose? Charlie Kirk is there to make fun of Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom is there asking him questions about how he can reach who exactly. Who you're trying to reach Republicans? That's not going to work. Now, as I say, not all Republicans. I'm going to say that specifically people that you're reaching out to an extreme angle of that party. If that's your logic, sure. Now let's take into consideration James Carville. What did James Carville say? James Carville said, play dead, lie down. Exactly the wrong answer. Bernie Sanders agrees that's not what we should be doing. Fighting harder, pushing back, going on TV, talking, walk over to the White House, have a conversation with the president. There's numerous things that could happen. Right now, this is a test of the strength of Congress, and it's not looking good. Committee Investigations Oversight. You should be holding Trump and his administration accountable through rigorous congressional investigations, left and right. That's what the Republicans did the entire Biden campaign, or the entire Biden administration, and every single time that a Democrat gets in office. They just do everything they can to shut it down. There's a lot more fight that needs to be had. Strikes, protests, and economic pressure. Again, I will be at the protest on Friday. In addition to that, go on mobilize.us, mobilize.us, and you can see where there's local protests near you. You can get involved with phone banking. So like if anybody who's like for our partners in other places that want to help, you can get involved in making phone calls and letter writing and sending emails. And a lot of that's just get online to the region. I'll be having some of my own stuff posted on there very shortly. I also want to recommend that you take a look at some other folks, specifically in Florida. If you are in Florida or want to get involved in Florida politics and you wonder how you can fight, specifically what you can do is support some of the candidates that are running right now. So Gay Valamont is running for Matt Gaetz's seat, and amazing story. What a fascinating story. I was heartbroken when I first heard it. She unfortunately lost her husband and her son tragically in a very short period of time from each other, and she's dedicated her life to this fight, and I suggest that you check her out. At the same time, there's also Josh Wheel, who is, and I want to make sure I get their correct districts. Gay Valamont is running in a special election on April 1st of this year, so that's very, very, very recently, which will allow, if we can flip some seats, we will allow more control for Democrats in the House of Representatives and eventually in the Senate. She is running for the 1st Congressional District, which was formerly occupied by Matt Gaetz. If you don't know about him, Google it, but be careful what you get. There's another, Robert People. He is running for election to the U.S. House to represent Florida's 15th Congressional District. Great guy, veteran, look him up. At the same time, Josh Wheel is another one. That one is happening. All right, special election on April 1st. and Florida's 6th congressional district. So I highly recommend you look into these folks and try to help as much as you can. I'm going to try to go out. If you know any of their events and you're send them my way, I'll see what I can do about being present, about doing. I want to do everything I can to help these folks and keep everyone who's here as informed as possible on what's going on and what are the ways we can fight back. Additionally, boycotts and divestment campaigns target corporations that support anything like Project 2025 and this rampant authoritarianism, and just make sure that you're keeping an eye out, and I'm going to be posting things and keeping more people eye out on what's going on. They work. The pressure works, but it only works if we all apply it. Social media and cultural influence. I know a lot of people say not to do it, but sending memes, podcasts, like viral sounds, like these are ways that we can all contribute, and it does make a difference because people are sharing it, people are being involved. It's the community aspect. Get into the comments, write in the comments. You can send me a message, direct message, but you can also go in the comments, ask questions. I go through everything. I know a lot of people don't do that. I go through every comment. If I haven't responded to you directly, I'm trying to. I will do my best to get so, but that is what, I honestly think that there's a separation between, if you look at like artists and people who are involved in their social media, and that there should be, because they're creating art and those people aren't involved in anything that directly affects the people that are purchasing their art or consuming it, or I hate saying consuming art, but you know what I mean. But in this instance, as an elected official, there should be an interaction, there should be a communication, there should be that exchange amongst all of us, and that's building a sense of community, I think, is what it's all about. So again, bringing on people onto your campaigns, or for example, another aspect of this is Democrats have recently put out like guidelines for what is acceptable on social media, or following scripted, ideas of everybody repeating the same thing and sending this cute meme. Don't do any of that. It's inauthentic. That's the thing. It's inauthentic. It looks fake. It looks phony. Don't do any of that. Why don't you try actually just having a conversation with your constituents? You should try actually having a conversation with the people that you work for. It's that simple. It's literally that simple. In addition to that, the idea of not having leverage, I heard Hakeem Jeffries say, what leverage do we have? I just spelled out all that leverage, and I'm not even an elected official. I mean, I can keep going. Ensuring that moderate and vulnerable Republicans feel the consequences of supporting authoritarian policies there's different ways to do this. Flooding denial of service for a website. This guy's using hackers. Doge and Elon Musk are using hackers inside of our systems, and they're doing it within the legal confines of the law. Who's to say that we shouldn't be doing that? There's a group out there, their name starts with an A. Hey, hi, how you doing, guys? Find out to the legal extent of the law. Like, it's time to start actually fighting. And that means getting involved. And that doesn't necessarily mean in just the ways that people think this. I mean, the amount of support that I've received on here, that's getting involved. If I put somebody out and somebody else puts it out, like, come and see me. Friday, I'll be out there. Talk to me. Tell me what you need. I'm here to fight for you. And I keep it simple. That is what it is. I'll check you out next time.